the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, is expected to make public his choice of a running mate in the next few days, in line with the requirements of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Already, a number of names are being touted, none more so than Simon Lalong, the governor of the North Central Plateau State. We are now being joined by Shehu Saleh Hassan, a former member of the House of Representatives for Jos North and Bassa Federal Constituency in Plateau State, who argues that Governor Lalong is eminently qualified to be considered for the All Progressives Congress candidate's vice presidential slot on the basis of his political maturity and effective handling of party matters in his capacity as chairman of the Northern Governors Forum. Good to have you. Now, before we start, what are your thoughts on Democracy Day?
Thank you very much.
Critically at a point where Nigeria is about to go into a crucial election. What are your thoughts here? Do we have anything to celebrate?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me. Absolutely, we have everything to celebrate, considering the fact that we have come a long way in our democratic process. We quite rightly remember the pillar of democracy, Chief Moshood Abiola, after whose mandate, the date, the democracy date is set on the 12th of June to commemorate the June 12, 1993 elections, which were prematurely botched by the military. We have come a long way, absolutely imperfect, but definitely an aspiring way. Without democracy, you and I would probably not be discussing this now. Without democracy, our voices would certainly not be heard. Our votes, despite what so many people think, have counted, not only counted as seem to be counted from 1999 to date. We have put people in place of power by the power of the vote. Albeit to the satisfaction and dissatisfaction to the people, depending on what your view is. But the most important thing is that our sense of purpose, our sense of having the right to vote, our sense of satisfaction that we see the people in positions of authority occupying or representing the votes that we cast at various elections in the journey from 1999. So yes, we do have a lot to celebrate.
Well, it's based on the intro that we read just a minute ago or so. It looks as though a Muslim ticket is underway. And I'm just wondering how inclusive the APC is looking to project itself, if that is in fact the case, based on the fact that Nigeria is religiously polarized.
I do not subscribe or agree with those who say that the possibility, not possibility, but that almost definitively that the Muslim ticket is there. I would argue that that is the sole responsibility and the right of the candidate of the APC. Is someone I know that understands the sensibilities of the peoples of our great nation. He understands the depth of the politics and sensitivities and sensibilities. He understands the depth of the diversity. He understands what actually entails, or what takes, or what is really the making of a president. So I would certainly ask us to calm down. I know that we are quite anxious to know who the running mate is and perhaps hit up the polity. I think there's no need for that. That is unnecessarily. Under no circumstance that our candidate or any person had inferred to the fact that we will have a Muslim ticket. No, I do not believe so. I do not think if anyone has said that, certainly not the APC candidate.
So what about the long, strong stake Or am I mistaken? Does he have a strong stake or not?
Who?
Lalong.
He has a what?
Does he have a strong stake or not?
Of course he does. Of course he does. Mind you, Lalong played a pivotal role in ensuring that not only equity, not only justice, but actually ethical duty was served by insisting. He is the leader, he is the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, a position that he quite rightly earned, not only because he is a governor, not only because he knows his colleagues very well, not only because he has had a wonderful relationship with our presidential flag bearer, because of what he has done on the plateau. In 2015, when he assumed office, Plateau was riddled with insecurity, chaos, and crisis, mostly ethnic and religious. He stabilized Plateau State by ensuring that every single shade of opinion is carried along. And the composition of his cabinet, not only did he take into account and profoundly did so the diversity, our religious diversity, and also those so-called smaller ethnic groups that were marginalized. I think his cabinet appointments reflected that. He has a history of a peaceful person. He has a history of understanding the sensibilities of the diversity that this great nation does have, which is our source of strength, if I may argue. So he definitely does have not only. Let me make it very, very clear. First of all, I have always been an advocate. I have always hoped, and I hope it comes to bear. I have always hoped and prayed that one day we will use our power not only to do what is seen as equity, justice, but what is ethically right. I have always prayed that one day, North, with our predominance or preponderance of a number of Muslims, would rise up to the occasion and accept a Northern president who is a Christian, or a Northern vice president who is a Christian. I think we have found ourselves at that moment now, and I think quite rightly, without sounding in any way trying to promote someone who governs my state, but someone who has governed my state quite rightly. He has brought all shades of opinion. I am a Muslim from the Hausa community in Plateau State. I have never felt a sense of security, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, a sense of togetherness. Perhaps even more than togetherness, a sense of unity, more than now. This is all to the skill of Governor Simon Lalong. He is someone who has shown considerable emotional intelligence in governing the state, which has restored confidence in the people, restored peace and harmony, which we have always known. Some of us that have been on the plateau, I'm in my mid-50s. I remember in those good days when we didn't know who was what, irrespective of your faith, irrespective of where you came from. Plateau was thriving. Plateau was only second, perhaps, to Lagos in terms of economic possibilities and in terms of opportunities given to every single human being that lived or came to Jos. Our Plateau State had a promising future until when it was suddenly, by political reasons and mostly personal reasons, and in order for people to pursue their political interest, abruptly brought to a sudden halt those hopes which Simon Lalong has to a large extent managed to restore on the plateau today. He does have a very good chance, not only because he is a Christian. Remember, pre-convention of the All Progressives Congress, the 14 governors, led by Simon Lalong, being the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, led by him, all of them had a call, a duty call. And that duty call was ethical, whether to do what was right or what was convenient, despite the power that they had. 14 of them had the power to install and ensure that a northern candidate emerged. But because of the principle, not only principle, because of what is right, because what is ethical, because what is equity, adherence to natural justice and the cause of law. They had a duty. They had an ethical duty. They were confronted by ethical duty to proffer, not only sit, but to actualize the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari, having served his 8 years, and he is from the north, the power shifts to the south. They stood by that decision, not fought it by the might, but they convinced, because they were convinced by their conviction, they were able to convince all of us that that was the right thing to do. And there was a resounding victory for a southern candidate in the person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is really commendable. This is what has endeared Simon Lalong to everyone. I think with the Simon Lalong vice presidency, we would all, people from the northwest, from the northeast, and certainly from the north central, we would all go to sleep while Simon Lalong would be awake, working for us, knowing that this is someone who would carry out his duties fearlessly, relentlessly, with a singularity of purpose. And that purpose is the common good of the northern person, and by extension,
Mr. Hassan,
the entire Nigerian citizenry.
Mr. Hassan, if I may come in, let's just dig a little deeper here. Some of the things you just mentioned, some credit have been given to the Plateau State Governor's role in the just concluded APC convention, of course, which produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as we all know. But can you shed more light on that? Yes, you've already mentioned the fact that he was pivotal in the role he played regarding the Northern Governor's stance on that issue. Why he should be a running mate in this regard? Is this being seen as a form of compensation for him? I'd like your thoughts on that.
Certainly not. I think it's not about compensation. If it is about compensation, I would certainly think that even the candidate himself, no matter what resources you give him in power, should he find himself in 2023 in Aso Rock, if he deployed all the resources in Nigeria, he would not compensate all the people involved. I think there's a lot more to that. I think what he has done on the plateau, in considering the sensibilities and sensitivities and what the polity is, how the polity is now. Nobody is saying that, remember I said, use your power. Use your power to do what is right. Use your power to differentiate what is wrong and what is right. There's no question that we're not talking about Muslim ticket or a Muslim-Christian ticket. It would be my wish that the preponderance number of northerners present a common candidate, a Christian candidate. Welcome, feeling that we have given one of us, irrespective of the differences in faith. But he has earned it. He has worked with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was the chairman of the Conference of Speakers, when Asiwaju was the governor of Lagos, to ensure that there was a smooth administration between synergy that led to a smooth administration between the legislature and the governors of the states. So Asiwaju has known him for a long time. And of course, what he has done, he has given everybody, every shade of opinion, every ethnic group, every person of belief, a common and a and a veritable atmosphere where not only do you have an equal chance with anyone to fulfill your national aspiration, but to practice your faith, to live as equal. This is what he has done. He has created chiefdoms that has given people that once thought never felt part of the larger plateau a sense of belonging. These are some of the qualities that we need to have in a vice president that comes from the north. You must have a vice president that would command a consensus. When I say a consensus here, I do not mean a consensus where everybody agrees with him. But no one would actually not agree with me that Governor Simon Lalong stands as an epitome of peace because he's fair-minded, because he is quite equitable, because he believes that every single person is as Nigerian as any Nigerian in the context of Nigeria, because he has done it on the plateau. He has given us a sense of hope. He has given us a sense of belonging. He has given a level playing ground for everyone to strive, whatever you choose to do, so long as it is within the confines of the law. I think he has more than earned it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Shehu Saleh Hassan, former member of the House of Representatives for Jos North and Bassa Federal Constituency in Plateau State. We appreciate your time.